Backlinks are one of the most important things to ranking on Google. Google's whole algorithm is based off backlinks. Backlinks are just clickable links from another website that points to yours.
Welcome to the Mastering E-commerce Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Eitan Koter, co-CEO of Vimy. In an era of rising acquisition costs and increased competition, this podcast is dedicated to helping you drive sales, engage customers, and build meaningful communities so you can turn passive visitors into active buyers. Now let's get started with the episode. Welcome listeners to another episode of Mastering E-commerce Marketing. We're going to talk today and discuss a very important topic. It's all about organic content and SEO. I have a very interesting and special guest with years of experience in the field, Brandon Leibowitz. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Good. Well, thank you for having me on today.
Great. So Brandon, you are the owner of SEO Optimizers, and you've been doing this for almost 17 years with SEO Optimizers, but I also saw that your previous position were also in the SEO field. So I'd love to ask, what drew you initially to digital marketing and SEO?
I just fell into it after I graduated from college, got my degree in business marketing, and the first job I got offered was doing digital marketing, which I didn't really know much about it. They didn't really teach you that back in school, back in 2007. Now they hopefully at least teach you a little bit, but back then they didn't really teach much about it. So I told the company, I don't really know much about this. They said, don't worry, we're new to this as well, and we're going to learn with you, taking you to classes and workshops and seminars, and did that for a little while and just realized this is the future. Everyone's probably going to have a website. That was back in 2007, and I should probably just stick with this digital marketing thing because it's probably not going to go anywhere anytime soon. And I just focused on SEO because SEO is a way to get free traffic. But I was helping out with social media, email, paid ads, doing it all, which it all works to get traffic. But SEO is just a way to get free traffic. And I thought, who doesn't want free traffic?
Yeah. But let's start maybe with the fundamentals, because I know things are changing so fast and SEO is still very, very important. What it means for you today, right? SEO with AI in the game, and so many things are changing.
I just got to see what happens and just adapt and adjust and see if it's just a trend. If people are going to use it more than Google, then we got to switch over to ChatGPT or Search GPT, which is going to be coming out. I think if that's what people use, but as long as there's ways as long as people are searching, there's ways to optimize for that. But if people aren't searching, then you can't really do SEO. But you can do SEO on Yelp, on Amazon, on TripAdvisor, anywhere that you could search, there's a way to optimize for that. It doesn't just have to be search engines. It could be any website that you search on.
Okay, so how do you approach the process? Assuming there is a new client that does, start working with you, what's the process, how it looks like?
It is different for every business. It's not really one size fits all for SEO, but if you're an e-commerce business, then it'd be going in and trying to figure out what you're doing versus the competition, and try to figure out where the disconnect is, and looking at the site structure, the hierarchy, the way you categorize, subcategories, subcategorize your pages, your products, and how you organize them to a hierarchy is really important to build a good structure that's easy for people, but also easy for Google to follow, to read, and to understand, because Google is just a robot. And if you make it confusing, Google is going to get lost and not know what to do. The easier you make it for Google, the more they're going to reward you with rankings. So making a good site structure, good hierarchy, making sure you have text on every single page is very important, because Google struggles with images and videos and audio. They're getting much, much, much better at it, but they still heavily rely on text. The more text you have on every single page, the easier it will be for the search engines to read and understand and really know what that page is about. But if you don't have text, it's going to be tough. And the easier you make it for the search engines, the easier, or the more they're going to reward you with higher rankings and more traffic, which is what we all want. So don't make it tough for the search engines. The easier you make it, the more you spoon feed them, the more they're going to reward you with that traffic.
Yeah, I want to focus more on that. You mentioned make it easy for Google, right? What do you mean by that? Let's try to break it.
Just making it easier to read the code, because Google reads your code, and they don't see what we see on the website. They just see the code, which is all text. and just making sure that you have in that code in the right areas, the right keywords in the right places, like a title tag or meta description. This gets very technical, but making sure those keywords are in the right places. Without coding, though, just adding more text on your website doesn't require any coding.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about a title or meta description or schema or header tags or all these technical things, but just adding more text onto every single page on your website is going to really make it much, much easier for the search engines to rank you for the correct keyword, or at least hopefully know what keywords you're targeting. Doesn't mean they're going to rank you because you have to build backlinks to get Google to trust you, but at least now they're going to know what your website's about and hopefully start building a little bit more trust.
So if we start from this research analysis around keywords, this is still the foundation of SEO, right? Keywords, correct?
Is got to figure out what keywords do you want to rank for, because
Yes.
you can just guess at these keywords, but there's tools that will show you how many people search for a keyword every single month. And then you can figure out, do I want to use a singular or plural or a synonym or a whole different variation of that word, because each word is going to get a different amount of searches. And that's where you got to take the time using tools like the Google Keyword Planner. It's a free tool from Google that will show you how many people search for your keyword every single month. Like one of my clients, they're a personal injury lawyer, and they want to rank for personal injury lawyers, plural, in Los Angeles, which gets 20,000 searches a month. But personal injury lawyer, singular, gets 200,000 searches every single month. Just by removing that one letter, they could get 10 times more traffic. And that's why keyword research is so very important. And it doesn't take that long. It really takes like 20, 30 minutes, like an hour at the most for one page. Do some keyword research, look at your competition, use a keyword planner, figure out which one gets the most search volume, and then use that keyword. And then you're pretty much done with keyword research for that page. You don't have to keep doing it. Every once in a while, maybe like every few years, you might want to check to just make sure that's the right keyword. Like I started doing digital marketing back in 2007. It was called internet marketing back then. No one called it digital marketing. All my keywords were internet marketing, and now it's changed to digital marketing. So that means I'd want to change my keywords, but usually it doesn't really change that often. Like if you're a dentist cleaning teeth and doing root canals and teeth whitening, usually that doesn't change too often. So once you're done with keyword research, you don't really have to worry about it too much, but you need to do it. And a lot of people skip that step.
Got it. So what is the sweet spot that we're looking for? I mean, obviously high demand keywords has a lot of competition. I mean, so you try to find searchability for various keywords. What are you looking for in addition to that?
You want to make sure that a keyword has good search volume, but also low competition. So if we go back to that personal injury lawyer keyword, I would search personal injury lawyers and personal injury lawyer singular and plural in Google and see who ranks. And if it's just like a bunch of big corporate websites and I'm a startup or small business, I might skip that keyword. But if I see other similar sized businesses as mine, then I would go for that keyword. But you have to search on Google to see who the competition is. And if you see ads, that already tells you that it's very competitive because people are spending money on those ads. That's a quick way to figure out, is this a high competition keyword? If you don't see ads, then it's probably not too competitive, but you still have to look to see who ranks, because whoever's on that first page of Google, that is your competition, and that is who you have to beat.
Yeah, and you assume that everyone did their own research and identify the keywords and then build ads on top of that, right? Which is usually, I guess, in most cases is probably not the case, right? I mean, people are still experimenting with ads as well, on creatives and what's working and what's not. Obviously, the keywords are just one aspect of it. And so once we identify a list of keywords, usually how many? What is the quantity usually for?
Well, each page is going to target a different set of keywords.
Okay.
And just depends if you're an e-commerce website and you have 5,000 products, then you're going to have to do a lot of keyword research. But if you're an e-commerce website and you only have 5 products, then there's not too much that we have to do. But each page is going to target a different set of keywords. And each page trying to really target like 3 to 5 words. After that, it kind of loses relevancy. If you want to target more words or more keywords, you need to create more pages. The more pages you have, the more keywords you can target. And I would not hold back. I would try to create as many pages as possible. That makes sense. You don't want to just throw pages up to throw pages up, but if they make sense in the hierarchy and the structure of your website, then go for it, because the more pages, the more content, the more keywords you can target, and the happier the search engines are going to be.
Wow, nice. So the idea is, and we talk about product pages, right? On an e-commerce site.
Category, subcategory, product
Yeah.
page, home page, contact us, about us. I mean, contact us, about us, not really keyword rich
Mm-hmm.
pages, but homepage. I'd start with the homepage, then your category, your subcategory, your subcategory, and then I'd work your way down to your product pages.
Yeah. Yeah. And this type of activity, you said it's good idea to do that on a per page, right? Just to think about the topic that we're going to write about, and just doing this analysis on each page, trying to find different keywords that are related to this page, right? And just let it be there for a while, right?
Yep, you got to separate them all out. You can't just throw them all on one page because it's going
Uh-huh.
to dilute it and lose that relevancy. And the more targeted your page is to one set of keywords, the more relevant you become to Google, and the more likely they are going to show you, and also to people. You don't want to just blend everything all into one page because it's going to confuse people and confuse Google, and we don't want that. So the more targeted each page is to really just one set of keywords, the more likely Google's going to show you for that set of keywords.
Yes, and that's the same if you're writing blog page or product pages or homepage or whatever type of pages.
Any page, yeah, every page on your website needs to just really focus on one core set of keywords.
Yeah.
You try to mix them all up, it's going to be tough. So like that personal injury lawyer page, they're going to focus on personal injury lawyer. Personal injury lawyer is singular and plural, but the main focus is going to be on the one that gets the most searches. So personal injury lawyer got the most searches. So that would be the main topic of that page. But in that page, they're going to hit on personal injury lawyers, plural. They're going to hit on personal injury attorney, attorneys, all the variations. But the main keyword is going to be the one that gets the most search volume. And then trickled in there is going to be all the synonyms and variations and plurals. But then if it's a whole different keyword, like maybe there's a keyword about burn injury lawyer, so it's a little different. You wouldn't want to mix that in with the personal injury, even though it is a personal injury, but someone searching for personal injury doesn't necessarily care about burn injury, and vice versa. Burn injury doesn't necessarily care about personal injury. So having a page about that really hones in and speaks to that person, that visitor that's going to your website saying, hey, you're looking for burn injury. This whole page is about that. This is what you're looking for. We're not going to mix it in with anything else. And then you have a good call to action, and hopefully then you get them to convert.
Yeah. There was any change in this process since you started in the industry?
It changes all the time. Just trying to figure out what works. I mean, back in 2007, you could just hide a bunch of keywords at the very bottom of your page, which I would not do that. And I never would recommend that. But there's lots of ways to trick Google and game the system. But Google's been around for 30 years and has seen all the tricks. And if you try to trick Google, they're happy to penalize you. So like duplicate content was something really big that people were using when I first started doing SEO, is just throw an article or blog post and throw it up everywhere. And Google didn't really care until about like 2011 or 2013. They started really cracking down on content and making sure it's original, no duplicate content. Then Google said, we don't want AI content. Now they said, we don't care if it's written by AI or humans, as long as it offers value. So Google is constantly changing and evolving, but it's just trying to stay up to date with all the changes and just seeing what works today versus what works in the past doesn't necessarily always work, because there is no constant. It is always changing with digital marketing.
Mm-hmm. So what's the best strategy? Just to add more and more pages, or just, this is a good thing, or just focus on few and probably probably write content around specific, more focused list of topics that you want to approach? Or it's just a matter of just adding more and more? It's always, the best thing, the best strategy.
Well, you can only add so many until you've added all the pages that exist. Like if you're a dentist and you list out all your services, there's only so many things that you could do. You could like whiten in teeth. You could help out with cavities. You could do root canals and all that stuff. But once you're done, you can't really add more services. But what you can do is add more blogs. And that's why blogs became popular.
Okay.
Because blogs are a way to add more content to your website, and adding more content, more pages is invaluable. You need to do that. If you're not adding more pages, it's going to be tough, because Google says, all right, you put this page on your website that you do teeth whitening, but you just have one page about that. That doesn't really tell us that you are doing this. I mean, it tells us that you're doing it, but we don't believe you. So you write blog posts about teeth whitening, like benefits of whitening your teeth, or 7 ways to whiten your teeth in 6 months. I mean, you have 20 blog posts on your website about teeth whitening. They all link together, but then they all link to that service page. That gives you topical relevancy. And now Google says, okay, we see that you really are talking about this topic. But if you just have one page about it, and just barely mention it, it's going to be really tough. You have to create lots of content. Content is king. Ever since I've been doing SEO, everyone's been saying that content is king.
Yes.
Content is the most important thing. Content meaning text, not audio, not video, not images, not yet, at least. Maybe in a few years with AI, it's getting much better. But really, right now, it is all text, or mainly text that Google feeds off. So you got to keep adding those pages. Just don't throw pages to throw pages up there. Make sure they have value. That's number one. Just throwing pages up there, it's probably not going to be good, because also Google has a crawl allotment, and they can only visit so many pages on your website, because Google has these spiders that go around crawling the internet, trying to find every single page on the internet. But to do that is not really possible, because there's trillion more than that. There's infinite number of pages. So Google goes to every website and says, all right, on your website, I'm going to look at 500 pages. On Amazon, we're going to look at 500 million pages, because we know they're bigger, but each website gets a certain amount of pages that Google's going to look at. And if you just throw a bunch of low quality pages up, Google's going to not want to look at those pages anymore. So if you do have a bunch of low quality content, you probably want to delete that. But as long as the content that you put on your website is high quality, then the more you put, the better. Google's not going to be mad at high quality content. But if you just have some cookie cutter content that's a couple paragraphs, or it's duplicate, plagiarize, that's not going to cut it. And that's going to probably do more harm than good. And that's where I cut that out.
Yeah. So assuming you're not copying a content from anywhere else, and you work with AI and probably adding some personalization into it, how Google knows if this content is bring value, differentiated, has some, essence into it?
That is where Google doesn't really tell you that, but there are some things that they hint at, like backlinks. So if your content is getting backlinks,
okay,
a good signal to Google that people are probably talking about it. If it's getting social shares, if Google sees that when they rank you on Google and people go to your website, they stay there, that's a good signal. Versus if they just search, go to your website, and then hit that back button right away, that tells Google maybe they didn't find what they were looking for. But in terms of how Google knows what's real, what's not real, what's accurate, it's pretty tough, because there's so much fake news, and it's tough to differentiate. Like, even for me, I'm like, I don't know what's real and what's not real. So I'm not sure Google is able to differentiate other than looking at backlinks. But all this stuff is easily manipulated. Anyone can build backlinks and do social shares and build fake accounts and pages. But Google's pretty good at spotting that stuff out. But I'm not sure how they are able to differentiate, because it is tough even for people to figure out what the difference is. But I feel like the social shares and the backlinks, that's how Google became popular back in the 90s. And I feel like that's still such a big part of the algorithm. Otherwise, how are they going to know what to trust and what not to trust?
Yes. So just a small recap. Obviously, there is a technical effort here just to make sure everything is structured correctly on every page, right? Headers, subheaders, meta information, like alt tags, having enough content. Then keyword research, trying to come up with content, whether it's a product pages, blogs, homepage, any type of content that is out there. Let's talk about, you mentioned backlinks. Let's talk about the importance of link building and how it impacts, rankings.
I mean, if you don't have backlinks, I have never seen a website rank without backlinks. Backlinks are one of the most important things to ranking on Google. Google's whole algorithm is based off backlinks. Backlinks are just clickable links from another website that points to yours. And we need to get other websites to link to you, which is not easy to do. But those links, or people linking to you, is kind of like they're voting for you, saying we trust you, we think you're a good website. And that's how Google took hold of the search game back in the 90s, and said, we're not just going to look at keywords, because anyone could put keywords on the website. But that doesn't mean that you really are who you say you are. And these backlinks are kind of like proof that, okay, you are who you say you are. We could trust you a little bit more. And the more websites that you have linking to you from sites that are related to what you're doing and have some authority, the higher Google is going to rank you in the search results.
So what do you need to do to build, link building around these third-party website, redirecting to you? What's the process, how the process works, and what's involved?
You have to look at there's lots of ways to build backlinks. First, that's the way I like to do it, is look at your competitors' backlinks first. by using tools that you could see any website's backlinks. So I could just go on Google, search for my keywords, see who ranks on that first page of Google, take those websites and throw them into these tools and look at their backlinks. And then one by one, I could look at all the websites that link to my competitor and see which ones are relevant and authoritative. You don't want to go after every backlink. You have to go after the quality. It's all about quality versus quantity. And the quality means it comes from a site that's related to what you're doing, and also it has some authority. If you're just getting it from a random website, like let's say you're selling t-shirts and then you're getting a restaurant to give you a backlink, that looks a little weird. Like, why is this restaurant thinking to this t-shirt company? Maybe you make t-shirts for their staff and that's okay to get 1 or 2 backlinks from a restaurant. But if a majority of your backlinks came up from a restaurant, then Google's going to think you're related to food. So you need to find niche related websites. The more related, the better. That's what Google really wants to see.
So what's the process? I mean, you're actively approaching those websites, try to propose like a guest post or try to propose something together?
Yeah, so then when I look at my competitors' backlinks, I could see, did they maybe give out products to influencers? Then I could reach out to those influencers and see if they want a product to write about me. Did they do a blog post in someone else's website? Did they do a podcast for somebody else? Did they sponsor an event or a trade show? Or there's infinite different ways to build backlinks, and you can see their exact strategy, and then one by one try to reach out to the sites to see if they would potentially link out to you. Because if someone is linking to one of your competitors, they probably would link to you. We just got to get creative and figure out, how did they get that backlink? Was it through like podcast, an article, blog, a press release, or whatever it is? We could reverse engineer it using these tools. You have to pay for them. The more popular ones would be like Ahrefs, Moz, or SEMrush to look at backlinks. And using one of those tools, you're going to be able to reverse engineer your competitor strategies and try to get those backlinks to then go to your website as well to get you that trust from Google.
Nice. So overall, what are the major KPIs, or how businesses can measure success of their, SEO activities?
Using tools like Google Analytics and Google Search Console are both free tools from Google that will let you track your progress and see how much traffic you're getting month over month, week over week, day over day. But then also tracking keyword positions using different tools to track, like, what position are you in today versus next week versus the following week. So you can see, am I improving? Am I staying the same? What's going on? And tracking keywords and tracking your traffic are usually the better strategies to see what's working and how you're improving on Google.
I mean, at the end of the day, the idea is to create those organic leads that everyone wants, right? But that has another aspect. I mean, you can do an amazing SEO work, redirect users, find your keywords on a search, and then people are clicking, they redirect to your website. But then it's all about CRO now, right? So how do you make the conversion on that aspect? Are you also involved on that side of things? This is something that, because eventually, people want those incoming leads. That's the dream, right, for everyone.
Yeah, traffic means nothing if they're not converting. That's why I got to figure out how to get someone from my website to actually convert. And that is actually almost as tough as getting you ranking on Google, because getting traffic is not that hard. And you can just run paid ads and get traffic right away. But you're going to see that most of that traffic is not going to convert. And you're going to be like, what's going on? Is it my pricing? Is it my product pictures? Is it the landing page? Is there no value proposition? Do people have to scroll to see that call to action? Is it really cluttered? Does it load slowly on mobile? Does it not look good on mobile? Maybe there's infinite reasons why you want to get those conversions. And that's why you got to try using tools like Google Analytics and get some more insight about your traffic and figure out, all right, 80% of the people that come to this page are leaving immediately. Why is that? But without Google Analytics, you're not going to see that bounce rate. And you're just going to see that a lot of people came to this page, but you're not going to see what happens after. And trying to follow through that whole story and that funnel and how they go through your website really is going to give you more insights to make statistically informed decisions about what to tweak, what to move around, what to change. But you got to test. It's all about testing and testing and testing. There's no perfect website. But if you're e-commerce, I would say look at Amazon and try to emulate Amazon as much as possible, because they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on the website. Don't look at your competitors. Your competitors are probably spending tens of thousands of dollars, but look at Amazon and Walmart and Costco and Target and these big corporations that are spending tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars on the website, and look at
Yeah.
how they structure it, the layout, the colors, the design, they put images or videos, or they mix them together for the product pictures. Like, how does it all work? And that's going to give you some insights. But I really look at Amazon first because they're constantly A/B testing. If everyone that's listening to this
Nice.
podcast right now goes on Amazon and looks at the same product, we're all going to get a slightly different page where the add to cart button might be moved up a pixel, or they might change the font color or the color of the button a little bit to just try to see what gets most conversions, because really is no perfect website. You have to always be testing.
So, I mean, I want to talk to you about SEO, Google versus social media, because what we see on social media is just, they're building this closed garden, and they're warning you if you want to click on a link to take you out of the app, right? So, like, obviously you see this on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on all the platforms, and no one is clicking the link because it's like people don't like to click on links on social media, right? They want to just continue this endless scrolling, and obviously Google is different. So what's an ideal strategy? I mean, how do you optimize social media and maybe paid advertising with SEO? And if there is like benefits of doing, like, shared benefits of doing both of them in a good way, it increases the chances to succeed, whether you do it organically or through paid media.
Yeah, the more touch points you have, the better. So anyone that comes to your website, it's probably going to leave. Half the people that come to your website are going to leave. And if you could follow them around with those remarketing ads, that keeps you top of mind. And I like to remarket to people on social, on Google, on YouTube, on anywhere where you go, any website you go. If you go to my website and you don't follow a specific conversion action, you're going to see my ads follow you around. And that's just another touch point to build that trust and build that credibility, which works really well, especially for e-commerce. People have been to your website, added a product to the shopping cart, which didn't check out. Cart abandoners, follow them around with that product, offer them a discount, maybe an incentive because they were that close to purchasing. Something distracted them, or they saw the shipping price and they got scared, or whatever it may be. But there could be infinite reasons why they didn't make that conversion. But if you could follow them around and have that touch point, that builds that trust. Social media is great for building social proof and building that another social or another trust point to build trust and build credibility of a person, because getting people to buy off you is tough. Like, why would somebody want to buy off you when they could just go on Amazon, one click checkout, buy that product? It's too easy. That's why you got to offer something that helps really build trust and build credibility. Like, people come to e-commerce websites, there's no contact us page. I was like, if you were going to this page, like, I asked them, if you were going to this website and pretend you've never seen this website, would you buy off of it? Because there's no contact us page, there's no phone number, there's no support. Like, how is somebody getting in contact with you if they need help? You got to make it easy, make it trustworthy. And social is great for social proof. Doesn't necessarily get you business. I mean, it depends. It's a little tricky. Like, not many people are going on Instagram looking for an SEO company like myself. Some people do. Most people aren't really doing that. People are going to Google, finding me there, and then checking me out on social media to make sure I'm real, legitimate, I'm trustworthy. People, they can see comments and things like that to help build that trust up. But if you have a brand new product that nobody's heard about, then people aren't going to really be searching on Google. And social is going to be a great way to get the name out there and get some awareness about a new product, a new invention that people won't be searching for.
Yes. I mean, I was looking at your LinkedIn profile, and right at the top, you talk about what you do and about SEO optimizers. And then there is an amazing tagline that you wrote: "Stop spending money on ads." Right? So I mean, is it, do you have maybe an example or a great success stories? I mean, can you still, as a brand or an e-commerce online business, succeed, right, just with organic focus? Or, I mean, ads are a must. What do you think?
I like the remarketing ads. So
Yeah.
keep that touch point, because unfortunately, half the people are going to leave your website. That's just that bounce rate. And you can look at analytics. Normal websites like a 40 to 60% bounce rate. That means around half the people are going to leave your website. And if you don't follow them around, you're not going to have that touch point, and you're going to lose them unless you captured their email address. But there's no way you're going to capture everyone's email address on your website. Email is the most effective, but it's also the toughest to get someone to give you their email. But if someone goes to your website, you drop that cookie on them through Google ads or Meta ads or through LinkedIn ads or Twitter ads or TikTok, wherever. I try to follow everyone everywhere they go, because I don't know where you're going to go, but I want to still make sure that you see my message no matter where you go, as long as it's not some weird or crazy site. But other than that, I just follow you around everywhere and have those touch points, because I think that's high ticket. Like if you're just selling socks, probably don't need to do that, because those ads are going to cost more than your socks cost. But if anything is a little bit more expensive or takes some time to make a decision, then those remarketing ads really help build that trust and credibility. And don't spend that much money on them, because most people don't click on those ads, but they see you and it keeps you top of mind. And that's what really matters.
Nice. So tell us about SEO Optimizers. What type of services do you provide?
Mainly focus on SEO over the years, but realized SEO isn't a means to an end. So try to be more holistic and help out with the ads as well. Try to make sure that you have those touch points. And it doesn't matter what those ads are, if it's on social or Google or any platform could help out, just making sure that you stay in front of your audience and get your message out there to the right people. So those are two main focuses on, then help out with everything else, help out with social media, email marketing, conversion rate optimization, but don't specifically build websites. I work with your web developer to make sure that everything looks good, or like, hey, let's move this here, let's change this button here, let's tweak this around, and just try to figure out how to best get those conversions from your website.
Amazing. And how people can find you and SEO Optimizers?
So anyone that wants to learn more, I create a special gift for you. If you go to my website at seooptimizers.com/gift, that's SEOOptimizers.com/gift. They can find that gift there, along with my contact information and classes I've done over the years. I've thrown up for free, so they can see step by step how to do a lot of stuff that we talked about today. And also, if they want a free website analysis, they could book some time on my calendar there for a free website consultation about how their SEO is performing and how to get them to that level that they want to be at.
Wow, amazing. And Brandon, please, we will share all this information in the episode show notes. I really like to thank you so much. It's really, really exciting and interesting. Wish you all the best. Obviously, you're very, very busy towards the holiday season, right? And so all the best and great success.
Thank you for having me on today.
Thank you for listening to the end of this episode. If you found this episode valuable, please subscribe so you won't miss any of our future content. Explore Vimeo, the video commerce platform that includes live shopping, shoppable video, and social commerce capabilities. Visit Vimeo at www.vimeo.net. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more valuable insights in our next episode.